At ground level, a quiet meadow is already listening for violence. One green shape does not chase. It waits for the world to move. A fly lands too close, and the grass suddenly has eyes. The first strike misses, but the entire stem line reacts. A falling leafhopper turns one hunter's mistake into another species' alarm. Ants flood the wet vein, and armor becomes a living shield. A grasshopper jumps from safety straight toward invisible silk. Before it can recover, two folded blades open again. The escape does not end the hunt. It spreads the panic sideways. Aphids keep feeding while their bodyguards read every tremor in the stem. Yet a new shadow falls as a hungry lady beetle enters the colony. A lady beetle larva climbs in like a slow, armored raider. Above them, the mantis turns patience into a weapon. Wings flash on the flower edge, and temptation crosses the battlefield. Then speed overrides safety. Fast prey tests the mantis more than slow prey ever could. Another aerial hunter arrives, proving this meadow has no single villain. The robber fly takes the open lane before the mantis can move. A patient assassin must now hunt inside a crowd of other assassins. Water shifts the map, cutting trails and pushing prey upward. A passing shadow freezes the entire miniature city at once. In this world, the perfect hunter survives by not moving. Morning light dries the leaf, but the war beneath it keeps spreading. Every insect here follows a different rule for staying alive. The aphids drill into the stem, turning green life into sugar. Ants patrol that sugar line, touching antennae like living signals. The mantis ignores the tiny herd and watches the guards instead. A caterpillar chews openly until the leaf itself begins to shake. The caterpillar freezes, because motion is sometimes the loudest sound. The mantis changes branches without breaking its praying shape. A dew bead rolls like a boulder through the grass roots. Springtails explode from the damp soil, revealing a hidden lower world. The meadow is not a stage. It is a machine made of hunger. And every moving part can become the next target. The fly returns to the same stem, drawn by moisture and scent. This time, the mantis lowers its body and lets the leaf hide its legs. Its head tracks the fly, while the rest of the body remains leaf still. One step brings the fly inside the length of the spined forelegs. The strike is less like a punch than a trap closing. The fly is held for only a moment before the scene goes quiet. No blood is needed to understand what those blades are built for. The ants below keep working because survival rarely pauses for another death. A moth enters at the flower line, larger, softer, and harder to hold. The mantis follows it through stems that sway like moving walls. A gust lifts the moth away just before the forelegs can close. Failure matters because every missed strike spends energy and reveals position.
The robber fly shifts closer, stealing the advantage of height. The heat and drying mud change the lower route.
For one breath, the hunter is also being measured. Afternoon heat thickens the air and turns wet mud into glue. A lady beetle crosses the exposed stem like a polished red shield. The mantis reaches, but the rounded armor slips from the grip. Ants rush the contact point, biting at legs instead of fleeing. The mantis lifts away, not defeated, but warned. Some prey are not worth the cost of holding them. The aphid colony spreads again, using the confusion as cover. The larva attacks the colony. The lady beetle larva returns, and this time the guards cannot stop it. Predators do not rule ecosystems. They negotiate every inch. A grasshopper nymph feeds at the edge of the drying leaf. It is larger than the fly, heavier than the moth, and harder to lift. The mantis approaches in fractions, each step hidden by wind. A spider web catches the light between them like a glass fence. The grasshopper jumps, avoids the web, and lands under the mantis. For the first time, the hunter must strike downward through moving grass. The grasshopper kicks free, leaving the mantis with empty spines. That escape pulls a bigger shape out from the shaded stems. A katydid moves in, broad-legged, alert, and almost the mantis's size. The mantis extends its grip. This is no easy meal. It is a test of timing and reach. The katydid flashes its legs, forcing the mantis to hold distance. The two insects turn the stem into a narrow, dueling bridge. A second mantis appears below, and the assassin now has a rival. Hunger, territory, and camouflage collide in one shrinking patch of grass. The main mantis strikes at the katydid's flank and loses its hold. The rival mantis climbs higher, turning the failed attack into danger. One predator backs away while the other takes the open height. The katydid escapes into the lower leaves, and the war resets. Now, at dusk, the Carolina mantis settles into the dusk arrives, and the meadow changes hunters without asking permission. A small cricket steps into the open as night sounds begin. The mantis makes one quick, decisive downward grip. The mantis makes one clean final grip, quick and almost silent. After the struggle, it cleans each foreleg with careful, mechanical calm. Those blades are not evil. They are one answer to hunger. By night, the ants rebuild, the aphids feed, and the moths return. No single insect owns this meadow. The ecosystem keeps hunting,